Hello, friends. So, today I'm back with the ethics series, and we are starting chapter 1, that is ethics and human interface. Before that, I would like to remind that there is already a playlist with the name Ethics Theory in the channel. So, please go visit that and watch all the basics so that our first chapter would become easy for you and also upcoming topics too. So, in the first chapter, we have these topics like essence. What is the essence of ethics, and what are the determinants? How these ethics are determined, on what factors, and what are the consequences of ethics in human action, and what are the dimensions, different dimensions of ethics. And next we have ethics in private and public relationships. And sixth one is human values, like lessons from lives and teachings of great leaders, reformers, and administrators. And the last one is role of family, society, education institutions in inculcating values. So these are all the basic topics in this chapter. We shall see one by one. So before that, we shall quickly see what are the previous year questions based on this topic. If you can see, in 2019 we had this, what is constitutional morality and how does it help in upholding constitution, how does one uphold constitutional morality. So these kind of questions also come under this chapter 1. So comprehensively it is about all the basics plus some concepts, basics plus few concepts. Okay. And in 2019 we had this question with regard to morality of actions. One view is that means, we have this means and ends relationship, right? Means is a paramount importance, and the other view is ends justify the means. Which view do you think is more appropriate? Justify your answer. So this is how the questions are, and here we not only need to write the uh, relationship between the means and ends, but also give appropriate analysis to your view and justify in the sense you need to give some good examples for it to substantiate your answer. So here there are a few questions from previous year questions like 2013, 15. These are all previous year questions, and we'll also discuss each of this question after the completion of chapter 1, okay, or after each topic. So here we are dealing with the essence of ethics, right? So what Swami Vivekananda says here, the essence of ethics is being selfless. He gave much importance to selflessness. He says that essence of ethics is being selfless, being selfless. So what actually the ethics is? You know that, right? Ethics is based on some established standards. Here Vivekananda is considering that selflessness is such a standard on which a human action can be categorized into ethical or non-ethical. And further, if we see, essence of ethics in human action implies that observance of principle of good versus bad. So here we are evaluating an action as good or bad in the thought, conduct, behavior of an individual. Okay, this is the essence of ethics. And why only some actions are good and some are not? Because we are categorizing these good acts and bad acts based on some established standards, right? To test goodness or badness of an human action. So what could be those standards? To arrive at these standards we need to have some basic principles in place so that we can formulate those standards and an individual can be adhered to it, to call a human action as an ethical action, right? So for example, we have a wild photographer. So here, if he finds a cheetah catching a deer, he has two options. Okay, what he can do? He can either save the deer or take photos of the same. If he is going for option 1, he is saving precious life of the deer. And if he's going with the second option, he's fulfilling this professionalism and following his professional code, right? As he's a wildlife photographer, his job is to take photos of the same, right? He should not interfere in the nature. So this is the example 1. And in the example 2, if a criminal is chasing a common man to kill, what a newspaper reporter should do here? In this case also, we'll be having two options. Like, one is save the man, take pics or videos. But taking pics and video here is unethical, because here he can, if he save the man, it is considered much more ethical, because it is not against some inevitable thing. It is not like the case 1, example 1, right? See, here this is a natural process, and this is not a criminal chasing a common man to kill him. It is not a natural one, right? Here he can save it, later he can report that news also, right? And so with these two examples, we can come to a conclusion that an action could be ethical if it is mandated by the nature and it is approved by society as right, virtuous, or appropriate, and it should not cause harm to anyone, either in long term or short term or long term, right? And if we are categorizing any action as good or bad or ethical or unethical, it will involve a lot of complications, like lot of like circumstances will come into picture. Like, in what circumstances an action could be considered unethical, it is also a subjective thing. But in a overall manner, like in an overall picture, we can categorize an action based on these principles as ethical or unethical. Always there could be some exceptions, right? So here a lot of balancing of extreme interest takes place. It is all about balancing between what is right and what is wrong. Balance between these extreme interests, like good or bad, it depends on the situation also sometimes. Hence there are some exceptions too. And next we have dimensions of ethics, right? Here we have several dimensions, like we have meta ethics, prescriptive ethics, descriptive ethics, and applied ethics. So what we can learn from here is there are few normative ethics which lays down principles or standards, and here in descriptive ethics we have some comparison based ethics. Okay, this classification is more or less a different approach to it. Like, you can categorize into many dimensions, but these are broad dimensions. Like applied ethics means, for example, we have this euthanasia issue, right? Passive euthanasia, like we have this issue going on in our daily life, like whether it is an ethical action or an unethical action. And vote for note, is it a ethical or unethical action? So these kind of ethics, where we can apply these ethical principles into our daily life issues, can be categorized into applied ethics dimension. Okay, in that we have several other dimensions also, we will see in a separate session. Okay, and here comes the determinants of ethics. Here ethics is determined by few principles or few what we call actions. That is, if the human action is deliberate, or what is the purpose of the human action, that is means versus ends concept will come into picture here. And what is the object of human action, like who is playing the central role in this human action, and what is its nature? Is it for greater good to greatest number of people, or is it a vested interest? And what are the circumstances in which an human action took place? What are its circumstances, whether it is a deliberate act or a situation demanding act or any other. Like, we need to analyze the circumstances also before categorizing an human action as ethical or unethical. And next we have the consequences. What are the consequences of a person's human action? So these all factors comes into play when we are deciding whether an action is ethical or unethical. So please keep this in mind so that you can answer it in a organic manner and comprehensively 360 degrees approach. Okay, so I have already discussed this ethical standards, how these can be framed based on reasoning, logicking, and rational thinking, etc. These can categorize our human behavior as ethical or unethical. So you can go back to all the basics videos to get a clarity on this. So friends, we shall end our lecture today, and in the next session we'll come up with the explanation of all those determinants in a detailed manner with examples. Okay, until then, please go through your ethics syllabus and learn the syllabus, and make sure that you know each and every term of the syllabus, and if it is possible, please do collect the definitions of all those terms which are mentioned in the syllabus, and also try to collect the examples. Okay, thank you.